Running as an independent in any election is tough. Without the backing of a major party, candidates must rely entirely on their own resources and support. But while the odds are steep, success isn't out of reach. Since May, village council elections have been underway, and while many villages have leaned towards party-backed blue councils, independents are gaining ground. One standout is Elise Vernon, who, on June 1st, led her team to victory in Biscayne Village, proving that determination and community support can go a long way.
We tend to think that independent mean against the government. And I've heard it so many times. Oh, that means you're against the government. That means that you are fighting against. That is not the case. I am independent because I myself, Elise Vernon, am running for an office to help my community. I am not running under a different party. I am not running against a certain party. I am running because I, as a resident of Biscayne, want to do good in my community.
Village council elections are not intended to be overly politicized. However, as candidates lean on parties for support, their influence is felt during the campaign period. This year, several PUP candidates have won in villages in an uncontested race. We asked Leader of the Opposition, Tracy Tager-Panton, if the ongoing internal dispute of the UDP has affected the number of UDP candidates stepping up to the plate.
I don't know that the internal disquiet has affected those persons who want to run for the UDP in the village councils. Those people who have wanted to run have formed slates. They're on the ground doing the work. I have visited a few communities, and I'm very careful with that, Paul, because I really feel at the village council level, it shouldn't be politicized.
Elise Vernon secured her position as chair in a close race, winning by 7 votes. In Gales Point Village, independent candidate Nadine Moore came out on top, securing 48 of the 65 votes. Belize Rural Central Area Representative Dolores Balderramos Garcia welcomes the independents to the slate, as she believes it makes for a healthy democracy.
The Prime Minister has said it. Village councils shouldn't really be politicized. But you see, we live in a real world. Again, you have perception and you have reality. Life is reality. I repeat that. Although village councils should not really be partisan political, we know that the reality is that there is some level of that. I don't have a problem if an independent slate goes in uncontested or a PUP slate goes in uncontested. Naturally, I will fight for my political party. And I don't think it is bad that maybe you might have a slate that's uncontested. But I will agree with you, it's good for democracy when independent people offer themselves, because then the people will have a choice and they will choose who they feel is the better.
There are 316 registered voters in Biscayne Village, with 171 showing out to vote on June 1st. Vernon says that while some voters appeared hesitant to support a young independent candidate, ultimately, she had proven herself worthy of their vote.
I heard quite a few times that I was too young. I think at one point, somebody even mentioned that, we don't want this legal, quote unquote. But at the end of the day, we keep saying that we want youth to get involved. And yet the system is set in such a way that when a youth does want to get involved, it seems like if we don't want that to happen, and yet, it's contradicting. And so I decided I am one who loves to stand for change.
Panton said she's been careful about openly supporting UDP candidates to avoid disrupting the democratic process.
These are small communities, small villages that need to work together to improve their conditions of living. Where there has been well-defined UDP slates, or I have visited at the request of the slates themselves. But I really think that we should go back to what was the original status quo of village councils, where it was not politically painted or tainted, so that these villages can help to empower themselves.
Despite the challenges, Vernon urges anyone who wants to make a positive impact in their community to rise to the occasion and run.
So this kind of needs to change. And then that support will come along with it. Because now if you're seeing an independent Biscayne, Team Biscayne, as we call ourselves, for the people and not against a certain entity, now you can see that that support can come true. Because if you and I, we have the same idea in mind, then why can't we work for the people? And this is something that I am speaking out about. I want you to see us as non-partisan. We are working with you. We want you to work with us, because at the end of the day, if there isn't support given, then it's not Team Biscayne who gets hurt, it's the people.
The rise of independent candidates offers hope for keeping village council elections free from political influence while protecting voters' right to a fair and democratic process. Britney Gordon for News 5.